design. So I sort of manage hundreds of students going out into their working lives. I've also worked on projects for IDEO, which is a huge innovation and product design company. I worked for IDEO in London, and I still have some sort of connection to them on a very personal level. I've also written a book called Wireless Foresight, which was written in 2001, 2, and quite a few things that we foresaw in this book have actually come true. So it's quite an interesting reading, I think. But I will come to thinking about writing something new. So to get here, I've done some academic points as well. I have a bachelor's degree from Stockholm University in education and technology, and I have a master's degree in computer-related design from the Royal College of Art in London. So I'm a designer, hardcore designer working at a huge telco company. It's an interesting experience, I'll tell you that. It's very strange. I'm just going to start to talk a little bit about interaction design. I think some of you might have an idea about this, so please fill in if you have anything to say. I think the easy explanation, if you want to describe interaction design, comes from my old professor, Gillian Smith. She's the grand old lady of interaction design. She's like a huge celebrity in my circles, really. And she says that interaction design is about shaping your everyday life through digital artifacts for work, for play, and for entertainment. This is the easy description. Digital artifacts, that could be a service, that is a digital service. But it could also be one of these kind of things. That is, this is of course a physical product, but it has a very vital digital inside. So it's like you can't have a mobile phone without having some sort of digital interior to it. So that's kind of like the overall very easy explanation. Then you have, of course, as you always have, these kind of organizations that try to sort of formalize what we do. And in my field, we have the Interaction Design Association. And they have what I always think is an unnecessary complex explanation where they talk about this. Lots of text, so I'm going to read it for you. Interaction design is a branch of user experience design that eliminates the relationship between people and the interactive points of use. That's pretty much what I said.
Sorry, do you raise your voice?
All right. While interaction design has a firm foundation in the theory, practice, and methodology of traditional user interface design, and here comes the interesting thing. Its focus is on defining the complex dialogues that occur between people and interactive devices of many types. So this is kind of like how I see it as well. My job as an interaction designer is to define how this thing speaks to me and how it allows me to speak to it. And that's kind of like the core of my job to do. And of course, to say, right, from computers to mobile communication devices to appliances. So it's kind of like a wide field. Just to illustrate this with the diagram, of course, I come from Ericsson. You have to have a diagram somewhere in the slide set, so, right. And I actually heard someone talk today about concepts and stuff like that, so this perhaps fits fairly well into your discussion, way of thinking as well right now. So this is how I think about when I'm designing something. If I'm designing a product, for instance, this is where I start, at the conceptual model. What is the product about? What kind of creature am I supposed to design? What kind of needs am I addressing here? What kind of things should this product contain? And that's what the conceptual model really. A phone, for instance. I'm going to show you a phone later on that is sort of changing this a little bit, giving you another conceptual model really. But then, of course, when you sort of narrow the scope a little bit, to talk about behavior. So, right, so this is going to be a phone. How is it going to behave? You know, the phone doesn't behave like a phone just because, from a generic, from like some sort of God-sent way of